Well, good morning everyone. Hopefully you're all well. Welcome back to another video. Obviously I'm home from university again. Done a year now already. I'm on my summer holidays. And the first job, it seems, is doing some fence painting. We actually changed a post in this fence at Easter. Well, I think it was Easter. And since then, between Easter and the summer, my dad has put some new capping on and some new caps on the tops of the posts as well. So they're going to need the most coats, probably 2 or 3 at least, whereas the rest of the fence we might be able to get away with 1. So I'm going to start with these bits and then come back along and do all the panels, hopefully. So yeah, hopefully we enjoy. Let's get cracked on. The only trouble with fence painting, of course, as a video is number 1, it's rather boring for me. I've said before that 3 of my least favourite jobs in the world is number 1 painting, number 2 weeding, and number 3 sanding. The other problem is that it's often just as boring for you to watch me paint as it is for me to do the painting, because of course I'm not Bob Ross. We're only doing 1 colour here. And the other problem is, if I have to change the camera around, change your drawing filming things, you'll find that very obvious because you'll see what's freshly painted and what's not. So I would request that you cut me a bit of slack. I'll try and be inventive with the camera angles, the editing, some time lapses, and try and make it somewhat interesting. But it might just mean that this isn't necessarily the longest videos. I do of course have lots of plans for this summer, and it might be quite a different summer because the last couple of years I've been doing a lot of work for my mum at her preschool. This year though that might not be the case. I might well end up doing a lot more jobs at home, which will be good for the channel because I can't film anything I do at preschool, whereas I can film what I do here, so you might see a lot of different videos in a different place to normal. Now, as nice as the time lapse is, I do of course know exactly what you're thinking. Well, our garden is a tough, unforgiving environment. Any plant that gets paint on it, well, if it dies, then it dies. If it survives, then great, and if it gets turned green, then it gets turned green. Now, I have got permission from Mum, obviously. No need to cover any plants up. She's not that bothered. Just crack on. And if they're growing on the fence, I'll just be going around them as best I can. No, just our side, even though it is technically the neighbour's fence. We do have very good relations with them. In fact, you might see me doing a few jobs over there this summer. Decent, thanks. It's interesting living away from home, but I'm getting used to it. It's obviously nice to be back though, of course, every holidays. I do miss being able to do what I enjoy for fun all the time. The course is good, I'm enjoying the content. I don't really have exams as such, I just write essays, which I think at the end of this year went okay, I hope. And in term time, I spend the vast majority of my time just reading. Reading and then doing the occasional essay, which, although at times it can be a bit tedious, it isn't bad. I'm definitely doing the right subject. I could not be coping with doing maths or anything else like that. Yep, Admittedly, in most of my videos, all you'll ever see me wearing is steel toe cap boots, because most of the time I'm working and doing things where the chances of me dropping something heavy on my foot is high. But today, just doing a bit of painting, I thought I'd probably be fine wearing something comfy, so Crocs it is. And I don't really care if I get paint on those, whereas I don't really want to get it on my trainers. Oh, rest assured, at least 50% of what comes out the pot ends up on me, not on the fence. I make no claims to be a tidy painter. Just sort of slap it on and hope for the best. Sure thing, just let me finish up this last section and I'll show you around. Admittedly, this year there are still things that could be improved. It's no Garden of Eden, but our garden in the past has looked pretty barren each year, but this year I think it does look rather pretty. All credit for which does go to Mum and Dad. They've been working at it rather hard this spring, ready for this summer while I've been away at uni. So as you turn into it from our driveway, you first of all have this path with hanging baskets and some rotting wood on the floor. Some rubble, that'll be from a job Dad was doing. I'll be waiting to go to the tip. And some plants here of Mum's. This is Dad's shed, and the door does need changing. Quite a nice wood store here that someone's built, full of firewood. And then we move on to the greenhouse. Up both sides we've got tomatoes. I suspect probably both sizes, like the big salad ones and the little cherry or plum tomatoes. 1, 2, 3 sweet pepper plants, or bell peppers I think the Americans call them. And over the back, a cucumber, which will probably grow up all of this frame, hopefully, if it does well, as it has done in previous years. Just some junk at the back, usual kind of thing, if you're a hoarding family like ours. Some more wood down the side of this path here. And then the second or smaller vegetable patch. I think Mum said that these are dwarf runner beans, so the same kind of runner beans that grow up these poles, only smaller. And then these, I believe, are dwarf French beans, the 2 rows here. Not sure what's in the little pots, whether vegetable or attractive plant. Courgettes here, or for the Americans, I think you call them zucchinis. And another plant here. This shed we took from Nanny's and moved it down here a couple of years ago. Does need a repaint already. This is supposed to be crazy paving around here, only with Dad things tend to get started and not finished, but maybe I'll get round to being allowed to finish it off this year, who knows. Water butts at the back. I think we've got 2 water butts now, so that's good. Ladders down the side, and then another pathway up round the back of the first and largest vegetable patch. You saw me put the blueberry in the ground here from its pot at Easter. And then here are the runner beans up the poles, full-size runner beans. These things in the middle aren't weeds, they're beetroots. And I think some more dwarf runner beans at the front. Some turf, looks like we needed to keep in case we needed any turfing. More half-finished crazy paving by the composters, 1 full of grass and 1 full of kitchen vegetable peelings, tea bags, eggshells, etc. And some more hoarded shelving, I think. And then running down this fence is all Mum's plants. Most of them have been here as long as I can remember, and most of them are good for bees, which is good. Hello, fella. So yeah, this thing goes yellow in the winter. It's called winter jasmine, I think. It looks pretty at winter. Everything else is all dead and grey, and then there's just this great big patch of yellow, although it does need a big haircut. That'll probably be one of my next jobs when I finish the painting. Prickly pink thing, a fuchsia, which always amazes me because every year we cut it right back to virtually the ground, and then every year it regrows, so that's cool. As you can tell, I'm basically Monty Don. And as we've resorted to this point of giving you tours of my garden, we might as well finish the video here. I think all I'm going to do for the rest of the day is continue painting. So yes, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Excited for this summer. Goodbye.